Right, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to GCSE Foundation live lesson. Okay, this afternoon we're going to be doing lots of work on averages and range. Okay, to all those that have tuned in all week, I'm really proud of all of you. Okay, can you, when you're ready, make a start on the starter in front of you, please? So this is Foundation this afternoon. Again, if you're in year 7 or 8, this can be really useful for you. Get your head started in GCSEs. And if you are in Foundation at GCSE level, this is for you. Okay, this topic does come up at intermediate as well. So it's a little bit for everyone. Okay, have a go at these. 9 questions there, worth 18 points altogether. Okay, have a go, get as much done as you can. I'll give you 5 minutes. Lots to get through today. Right guys, last few minutes on this. Right guys, one more minute. See if you can finish all 9 questions and I'm going to go through them. Right then, so very quickly I'm going to go through each of these now. Got loads to get through today because there is 3 averages and 1 in the range. Okay, so loads to get through to explain. 870 divided by 6. Again, set up your bus stop exactly as you would normally. Okay, I like to change the colour just to make it look pretty. Okay, 6 goes into 8 once, remainder 2. 6 goes into 27 4 times, remainder 3. And 6 goes into 35 times. So my answer is 145 for 2 points. Next one. Okay, 68 plus 269. 269, 68. Add them together. Okay, 9 plus 8 is 17. 6 plus 6 plus 1 is 13. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So my answer is 337 for 1 point. Next one, I got 49 times 28. Again, use whatever method you feel comfortable with. I like the Chinese one. I think it looks nice, and it's very easy and very difficult to get wrong. So I got 49 times 28. Okay, I'm going to do the inside bits in black. 4 times 2 is 8. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 8 is 72. And 8 times 4 is 32. Once you're there, I'm just going to add up the bits on the inside. I got 2 on the first one. Then I've got 2, a 7, and 8, which makes 17. Then I've got a 1, a 3, an 8 and a 1, which makes 13. And a 1 and a 0 is just 1. So my answer is 1,372. 3 points. Next one, I got 8x equals 48. If I want to find out what x is, I've got to divide through by 8. Whoa, went a bit too far. I've got to divide through by 8 to both sides. If I divide by 8 on the left, I'm just left with x. If I divide by 8 on this side, I'm left with 6. So x equals 6. That one was worth 3 points. 83 take away 49. Okay, lay it out exactly as you would for any subtraction. Okay, don't try and do it in your head, even though it's tempting. 3 take away 9 is, I have to borrow. 13 take away 9 is 4. 7 take away 4 is 3. My answer is 34. Again, if you can do it in your head, great, but I'd always suggest writing down a written method just to check your answer. That one was worth 2. Next, I got 4x, take away 4y, plus 9x, plus 7y. I'm going to add some shapes in just to make sure I know which ones are the same. So I'm going to put some shapes around my x's. Okay, I've got 4x and 9x. Okay, those two I'm going to put a rectangle around. Then I'm going to put some ovals around the other two. Okay, now the ones with rectangles on I'm going to focus on first. 4x plus 9x. Now this is why it's important to get the sign in front, because you know that's a positive 9 and that's a positive 4. Together they make 13 x's. Then I've got minus 4 and positive 7 is the same as 7 take away 4, which makes 3y's. So my answer is 13x plus 3y for 1 point. Next one, I got 20% of 430. 10% is always the one we work out first, which is 43. Just chop a 0 off. And then 20% will be double that, because I'm going to times both sides by 2. Gives me 86. 20% is 86 for 1 point. Last 2 questions. Share £56 in the ratio of 4 to 3. I'm going to add my shares up first. Altogether, I got 7 shares. Okay, add them up first. I'm going to divide my amount of money by the amount of shares. So £56 divided by 7. Each share is worth £6. If each share is worth £6, one person's getting 4 sixes, which is 24. Another person's getting 3 sixes, which is 18. Oh no, I did make a mistake there. Bear with me, I made a mistake. Oopsie. All make them. Okay, 56 divided by 7 is 8, not 6. I don't know why I wrote 6. Is 8. 4 lots of 8 is 32. And 3 lots of 8 is 24. Okay, try that again. Right then, that's worth 3 points. Right, last one. Okay, I've got to make the bottom numbers the same. Now, you don't have to times both sides this time. You can just times the left. If I times the left and times top and bottom by 2, I end up with 2 over 6 plus 1 over 6. We can add these together now because the denominators are the same. It's going to be over 6. 2 plus 1 is 3. So my answer is 3 over 6, or if you want to simplify it, you get 1 over 2. That's worth 2. Altogether, guys, that's worth 18. If you want to message me while you did, that'd be brilliant. I'd love to know. Okay, do that after the session. Okay, add them up. If you get an 18 out of 18, you are strong and doing well for foundation. Obviously, if you're in a higher set than that, that's okay. But you're doing really well, and you probably should be in an intermediate class, okay, if you get all those right. Right then, so mode, first one. Okay, now it says every single time put the numbers in order. You can do that. I'd suggest practicing it only because you'll always be asked the median. Okay, most of the time you get asked the median, so that's the one you need to put them in order for. So I'd normally put them in order if I'm going to do that. So here's my example on the left. I'm going to write these numbers in order. So I got a 2, I've got a 3, I've got another 3, I've got a 4, I've got a 5, and a 5, and I've got 2 6s on the end. Okay, so those are my numbers in order. Now, if I want to know the mode, I've got to look at which one is the most popular, because the mode is the most common. Okay, it says above. Mode is the most common. Looking at these, the one that's the most popular is 5, because I got 3 5s. So my mode equals 5. Okay, that's your example. Get your example down for me first. Okay, most important thing you could do is write examples down so you've got something to refer back to. Once your examples are down, have a go at the ones on the right hand side for me. While you're doing that, guys, I'm just going to put them in order. Right, guys, so those are the numbers in order underneath. Okay, I've done that for you. Now, once you're there, okay, you need to work out which one is most popular. Looking at this list, the number that's most popular, I've got 4 50s. So my mode is going to be 50. Okay, these are really straightforward questions, okay, really straightforward. Mode is quite a nice one to do. Again, depending on how confident you feel, make sure that's marked. Depending on how confident you feel, have a go at red, amber, or green. Green is the most difficult one. Red is the easiest. Amber is if you're feeling in the middle. Only do one box for me. So you're going to put those numbers in order. And you're going to work out the mode for each one. Only do one box. I'm going to give you just over a minute. "30 seconds. Right then, so have a go at marking what you've done. Okay, be careful on the end. There's a few trick questions in green. On green number 3, 82 and 88 are the mode, because the two of them are the same amount. The two of them are the same amount of each. Okay, and on the bottom one, there is no mode, and you can write that. That's an acceptable answer. If there is not a single number that is the most popular, like if you've got one of all different numbers, okay, you write there's no mode. Okay, that's an important thing to note. Okay, mark whatever you've done. Let's move on. Right, so you'll notice the example numbers and the question numbers repeat themselves because we're just talking about different things. I'm using the same numbers each time. So again, we're going to put these in order. We have to this time. So I've got 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, and 6 on the end. Right, once you've done that with median, the best way to do it, once you put them in order, is cross off from either end. So I'm going to start from this end. Whatever you're left with in the middle, I'm left with the number 5. So my median equals 5. So you cross off from either end. If you're left with two numbers in the middle, then it's halfway between whatever those two numbers are. I would get these 4 points down. Okay, make sure you get those down because that's a really important one, number 4. And then have a go at this one over here. What I'm going to do to help you while you're getting this down, I'm going to write these in order for you again like I did before. Once you've gotten this down, have a go at the example, have a go at the question on the right hand side. Right guys, so if you've done the one on the right hand side, well done. If you haven't managed to finish yet, don't worry. So cross off from either end. My median is whatever's left. My median, the number left in the middle is 50. Okay, so you notice the mode and the median for this is 50. Okay, that's fine. Make sure that's marked. Make sure that's written down on the left. Okay, this is the important stuff. Okay, having good examples is the key to getting better at maths. Right, so have a go. Same numbers as before. So I wouldn't expect you to write the numbers down again. I wouldn't expect you to write them in order again. Just use the ones you've written from earlier on. Okay, now you're going to work out the median for those numbers. If you do think you're more confident on median, so you think you're a green, or you're less confident, then you will need to write the numbers out again in order. On the last 3 on green, you will have an even number of numbers. Okay, you will have an even number of numbers on the last 3 on green, so you will have to find what number is in between the 2 middle numbers. Easiest way to do that is add them together and divide by 2. Right guys, 30 seconds or so on this. Right then, cool. What I'd like you to do, can you mark what you've done so far? Be careful on these three because you have to find the number that's in between the two middle numbers that you ended up with. So these numbers, these answers by here, are the numbers that were in between the two middle ones. Make sure that's ticked or crossed for me. Right, let's move on. So, mean. Okay, mean is probably the most difficult one to do. Okay, I'm not going to necessarily write them in order for this one. Okay, what you've got to do, you've got to add them up and divide. Okay, so you've got to add them up by whatever they add up to and divide by how many you've got. So the first one, I've got 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus... I'm going to add all these up and then I'm going to divide by 3, 6, 9 numbers. So I'm going to add them all up and divide by 9. If you add these up, 3, 5 is 8, plus 5 is 13, plus 6 is 19, plus that is 23, 26, 28, 33... And we try again. What I would suggest doing is when you're adding them up on mean is use a calculator, okay? Because it does make it easier. You are allowed a calculator if it ever comes up in the exam, most of the time. And I'm just going to check my answer anyway. It's 39 divided. So this is going to be a calculator. When it's adds up to 39 divided by 9. That's why I thought I was wrong, because I got 39 and it's not in the 9 times table. Divide these two by each other. 39 divided by 9 gives me 4.3 as a mean. Okay, and you sometimes will get a decimal if it doesn't work out perfectly. So all of them added up, divided by how many you've got, gives you 4.3. Definitely use a calculator on this one. Have a go. Just let me know how you do. If you add all these up, it gives you 548. And then if you divide in, there's 11 numbers. So it's 548 divided by 11. The mean of this one, add them all up, 548 divided by 11 is 49.8 for your mean for that one. Okay, if they give you nice numbers, then the mean will be easy to work out. Remember, you don't have to do greens all the way through. You don't have to do, make sure these two are down for me, please. Make sure the example is down, it's really important. On the next page, you don't have to do green if you don't want to on this one, because it is more difficult. You could do amber or red. It's totally up to you. Right then, cool. What I'd like you to do, can you have a go please at one of these boxes, red, amber or green? Again, you can pick an easy one for this one if you want to. You're going to add them all up and divide by how many numbers you see to find the average. Remember, when you add them up, press equals first and then press divide, okay? Don't just press add, divide by 6 for the top left one, okay? Because that'll give you a different answer because of bid math. Okay, so remember to add them all up first and then divide afterwards. Right, guys, last minute on this because we've got to move on again. I want to make sure we understand all three averages and the range before I move on to a GCSE question, okay? Right then, cool. So, can you mark whatever you've done so far? Those are the answers you should have gotten, okay? If you did get them wrong, I think it's probably you just put it in the calculator wrong, okay? So just be really careful. Add them all up first and then divide by how many you've got at the end. Right then, cool. Range is the easiest one of the lot, okay? I love range because it is just so straightforward. All you've got to do is you've got to work out what the biggest is, what the smallest is, and take them away. So for the bottom one, I'm going to circle them both. My smallest is 2, and my biggest is 6. So my range is 6, take away 2, my range is 4. Very straightforward. Write this down, please, and have a go at the one on the right-hand side for me. Right guys, just going to breeze through this because it's so straightforward. Again, this one over here, the biggest number is 55 and the littlest number is 47. They happen to be right next to each other. So my range is 55, take away 47, gives me an answer of 8. Okay, make sure you've got your example down. So you've got all 4 examples down so you can always refer to them. Right guys, so last couple of questions. Okay, remember it's the same numbers as before, so please don't write the numbers out again if you don't want to. Okay, just working out the range for 4 sets of numbers. Okay, pick the box you want to use. If you use the same box all the way through, that probably would have made it easiest, okay? Once this is done, we're going to have a go at a GCSE question. It is quite difficult, but again, I'm going to talk you through it. Last minute on this. Right guys, so when you're ready, mark what you've done so far. I found ranges is probably the easiest one of the lot. Okay, range and mode are probably the easiest too. Okay, mark whatever you've done, tick or cross it. If you get most of them, that's brilliant. If you got all 4 perfectly correct, that's amazing. Okay, you've absolutely mastered that topic and it's been a really productive 40 minutes. Okay, make sure they're all marked up. If you have missed any of the answers, okay, remember you can look back at the end. Right, so plenary GCSE question. What I'd like you to have a go at this question, please. I'm going to zoom right in, only because you need to do a little bit of reading. Okay, there's a little bit of reading involved. I'm going to zoom right in, then I'm going to zoom out when I want to do the question, okay? So have a go for me, please. And then once you're done, I'm going to go through. I'm going to give you 2 minutes just to make a good start. Okay, remember the answer's in the bullet point. Okay, once you've had a good go, I'm going to help you through it. So don't worry if you haven't quite got the right answer, okay? It doesn't matter. Last minute on this, guys, then I'm going to go through it. Right then, so a lot of information on this. I'm just going to take the squeaky toy off the dog. Bear with me 1 second. Right then, so last minute on this. Okay, so let me go through this one by one. Okay, I know this is quite far away. Okay, so you'll have to bear with that. Okay, it's a little bit far away, but I'm just going to try and go through it as best I can in as much detail as I can. So for the last 7 days, I've recorded the number of cars that visited a certain car park at 10 a.m. each day. This is what I found. The answer is very straightforward, and it's actually in the bullet points. Okay, so if you go through each one, imagine there's 7 days, 7 lots of cars. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've drawn my little lines at the bottom. I'm going to put numbers of cars on each of these, with the littlest number on the left hand side, the biggest number on the right. So let's go bullet point by bullet point. The car park always had some cars parked in it. Okay, that's not very useful, but I'm going to tick it off because I've used it. Next one, the greatest number of cars parked was 11. So on my far right hand side one, I'm going to write the number 11. Okay, next one, I'm going to tick that off. The range was 8 cars. That means the big difference between 11 and this number on the left hand side was 8. Okay, 11 take away 8 makes 3. So that number would have to be 3. That's that one used. The median was 9. That means the middle number right in the middle of 7 has to be the number 9. That's that one. We're using all the skills we used from earlier on. The mode was 10. So that means there has to be at least 1 10, probably more than 1 10. So these two have to be 10 because there's got to be more than 1 10. On one day there was 6. On another day there was 7. So 6 and 7. Those are all the cars parked, all the cars, they're all filled in. Okay, 3, 6, 7, 9, 10, 10, 11. That's done. the real question, the big question we've got to answer for our 4 marks, and remember, this is going to be a question right to the end of foundations here, okay, on numeracy. What was the mean number of cars? Now, we all know mean is to add them all up and divide by how many you've got. We've got 7. If I add these up, 3, 6, 7, 9, 10, 10. If I add all those up, that gives me 56. So I'm going to do 56 divided by 7 equals 8. The mean number of cars was 8. Huge question. Okay, if you got that right, that's amazing. Guys, well done for tuning in today. I'm really proud of all of you. Remember, these lessons are going to be available permanently on my page. Okay, so they're always there for reference. Well done, guys. Proud of all of you.